We come from a time of COVID where digitalization entered our education in a way we could never have guessed before. We've learned a lot of good things, but we also know that we have a lot to learn and to develop. That is why we work together with head teacher and policymakers to enhance the digital transformation, to support it by working on resilience, our skills, our competencies. And it's necessary that we do this because the students of today, they need our support to be ready for their lives and their learning afterwards. So digital transformation needs to be effective and balanced in the schools because that's what needed the future. Why is the digital transformation of education important?
Well, I think for at least I can think of 3 reasons. One of them would be obviously the COVID, the consequences of the COVID. I mean, it should never happen again that we have to train our teachers so quickly in such a fast way so that they can do their lessons, that they can take care of students and the students' knowledge. So we have to be ready because we don't know what's going to happen, and in case it happens again or something similar happens, our teachers and our students should be ready. A second second issue which I would like to point out is the fact that jobs in the future will require digital skills. So obviously we should train our students to be digitally competent, because nowadays our society has become more digital, so we would need them to be able to face this situation. We would need to make them more employability ready. Yeah. And the third consequence, the third thing I can think of is a lot of the massive variety of resources, of online resources in the net. They are obviously something very powerful for our teachers. Our teachers should have access to these resources. Our students too, but we have to be able to distinguish which ones are the best ones. We should at least have some criteria on how to choose them and how to use them, because it's a very powerful thing.
So what are the practices in the school that needs to be reinforced?
Well, I would start with a good use of digital devices. I think let's take an example, for example, the mobile phone. We are all aware of the possibilities of the use of mobile phones and any other devices in the classroom. The problem is the misuse they can do of these devices. So there should be some criteria in the school, that there should be some discussion on what is the best way to use them and how far should we go. Okay. Yeah. I think this should be wrapped in such a thing as a digital strategy in the training centers. I think this is where we have to focus this is where we should yes. Focus. Yes. Yeah. Sorry.
So, what kind of teacher training and head teacher training would be effective, and why?
In Catalonia, we have established the main guidelines for both training the new principals and to update the ones that they are working as headmasters during several years. Sorry.
Yeah.
These guidelines are for, first of all, is the leadership related to the ability to involve most of the teachers to reach the main targets of the educational project of the schools. The second one is to the development of digital technology to implement in our classes. The third is update new regulations, especially related with technological challenges. And the fourth is about the evaluation, about the will of the continuous assessment, because we think that it's really important to, from now and then, to implement evaluation about all the things that are related with the day-by-day of the school.
Do you think there are now already enough trainings for head teachers and teachers? Does it need something extra?
I think that nowadays there are a lot of training courses for the teachers and head teachers, but not is the proper, the suitable formation or training for the headmasters. It's really difficult to search the target, to search the most effective training for the head teachers, because it's a really specific issues that head teachers are want to improve their day by day.
How the digital transformation could support sustainability and diversity in the schools?
Yeah, that's a good question, and with two different focus, because sustainability and diversity. First of all, I start with the diversity. We think that the digital transformation can afford and can take a huge development in the treatment of this diversity. All these families in our schools that have few economical resources, we think that the digital transformation can be a very good way, a very good path to break these distances between the families, because nowadays almost every family has at least a smartphone. And then we can start to work with these students in this way, and I think this could be a very interesting way to break these distances, these social and economical distances.
So then it's about communication.
Yeah. And if you start to make some different projects in the digital network, we think that these families could be more encouraged to work in this environment.
Yeah, to include them in the schools' projects and programs.
Yeah, because the schools also, we can also provide computers and laptops to these families.
Yeah.
Because all the schools start to have a very an important amount of digital equipment. Yeah. But as I said, with a smartphone you can start to work in some digital, in some specific digital components, and we think it could be a good strategy to break these distances between the different social.
And the sustainability?
And the sustainability, we also think, first of all, the most evident is not to use paper, but it's only a drop in the ocean. But it could be a start, and it also could be a very interesting way to conscience the people that we have to do a change in our way of living, and all these digital competences, we can start to work to work this conscientization with our students, with our families, that we have to do a real change with our lives, a circular economy, and we have to not to use so much paper, for example. But as I said, this is only not the most important, but we think it could be an important, for example, to use some electric cars, some electricity, changing our forms of energy, and it could be a good beginning.
Start.
Yeah, a good start. Yeah.
How the visit in the Netherlands can be helpful for the digital transformation in your schools?
All right, it will be really helpful for sure, because one of the mottos of our association in Spain is learning by sharing, and this is what we've been doing so far. We've been sharing experiences, the way you work in the matter of digital technologies and updating our schools. So it's been great, because seeing the way other European partners work will help us choose whether these ways of working might be good for our schools. So we are pretty sure that everything we've learned so far, we will be able to use to use it in our schools. And since this is a project that has not finished yet, that we'll move on and we'll meet again, we are very certain that this is going to be really useful.
What was the ultimate moment of learning that you thought, wow? In the study visit?
In the study visit. I'd say the moment when all the partners explained to us the way they work in their schools, like for instance in the Netherlands, the school system, the management is pretty different to ours. You know, this kind of autonomy that the centers in the Netherlands have, and we don't, because we depend upon the administration more than you do. So that was something that caught our attention, I think.
Yeah.
And also, well, the technologies you use, yeah. So
yep.
I think that was very useful.
What do school heads need in order to be able to lead the digital transformation in their schools?
Okay, I think first of all, the school leaders need knowledge. Knowledge, it's to know what are the real needs of their school in digital transformation. Yeah. And also it's important school leaders training, because when they know where they need, it's important that they have the strategies, the skills to share that with their staff. That's the principal point. And also, I think it's quite important that all the schools have enough resources from government to be able to develop their own project. The main point is that the project focuses on the reality of our school, of each school, and to solve the problems, especially for students who have not the possibility to stay near the digital tools.
And do you think now the head teachers are already enough equipped? Are they ready? Do they need more, or is everything okay?
It depends on the school. There is lots of difference between schools, and it's because of that the government think that we must develop a strategy that must suit on each reality, and there is schools that are more advanced in their skills and with their tools and with their connectivity. And there are another smaller schools, maybe in rural areas, that have less tools and have less experiences about that. And it's important also to share between the schools the experiences, because it's a good way to learn also.
So actually you say the differentiation in the training is important, but most of all networking and sharing your knowledge.
Yeah. That's right. It's I think it's the ways that you can learn faster.
Yeah.
Because you learn with other people that have experienced it before. These projects quite similar at you. Yeah. And then you can share, and it's near for you.
We come from a period that COVID changed education in our schools, and the digitalization came in rapidly. We learned a lot, and we saw some things were very good for our students, but some things have to be better. That is why it's important that we learn about the digital transformation and what school heads, what leaders need to do to really equip and support this transformation. That is what this project is about, the digital transformation in our schools.